Partner in crime, Angie. She will be over here in a little bit to pass out candy if you answer some questions. I work here at Monee Reservoir. This is my first Musher Mania event ever, so it's really exciting and fresh for me to be here. And I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about snowshoes. So, what do you guys think? Why make up snowshoes? Why should we have snowshoes? Why do we need them to walk in the snow, though? Isn't walking in the snow easy?
No.
Why is it not easy? You sink, right? What if you walk in snow that's like this deep? More than your feet sink, right? Pretty crazy. Do you think that there are places around here that gets this much snow? Yeah, how many of you guys have been up to Wisconsin? Yeah, sometimes up there there's this much snow. How many of you have ever seen really big snow drifts? Yeah. The blizzard of 67. I mean, walking around in that was a little crazy. If you had something like this, do you think it would help? Or, I don't know, feel it, it's kind of heavy. How about you pick this up? It's kind of heavy, right? Aww. You're strong. These are a little heavy for me. If I was walking around in something like this, do you think it would help me? Or would I sink all the way to the bottom? It would help me, you're right. Even though they're heavy and I'm going to build some huge leg muscles walking around with these snowshoes on, they are going to help me from sinking into the snow. Now, how do they help me from sinking into the snow? What do you think? There are holes in it, right? There's this netting in it. So that netting keeps you kind of on the surface of the snow. How else do they help me walk on top of the snow instead of sink down into it? What do you think? The shape. Definitely, the shape. What snowshoes are really doing for me is they're taking my big fat body and they are putting it all, the surface area of my body is going all the way over these snowshoes. So, pound per square foot when I'm walking is nice. And how many of you have ever heard that certain animals can walk on water? Okay, you've heard that before. Have you ever seen animals that can walk on top of snow? Well, if we wear these, we can, right? And there are, anybody heard of a hare that might be able to walk on snow? I'll give you a hint. There's a hare. There's a snowshoe hare that can walk on top of snow. Pretty cool. Do you think that maybe, just maybe, somebody was checking out that rabbit going, gee, I wonder if I can walk on top of snow like he can? What do you guys think? You think that the people who created snowshoes maybe were checking them out in nature, looking at other animals, thinking maybe, just maybe, if I watch that guy who's really good on top of the snow, I can create something that will help me be good on snow. What do you think? Did that happen? Well, these snowshoes are the biggest of the three that I have here today to show you. I got 3 different kinds. And you can still buy all of these snowshoes, but the snowshoes we're going to use today in the race are made out of plastic. Why do you think I chose plastic snowshoes for you guys to race in versus these wood ones? What do you think? What do you think? Well, they're not going to snap in half because we bought these just recently, so they're not like antiques yet.
You have no snow.
What do you think? Oh, well, we could use these with no snow. They get really muddy and dirty. Why do you think I'm going to use the plastic ones in the back? These are a little too heavy for us, right? We obviously started making these a long time ago out of wood. These are made out of ash. But now, modern days, we have really cool stuff like plastic that weighs a lot less than wood does. We even have some inside when there's 3 or 4 inches of snow that we use. And they're made out of aluminum and titanium. So they're really light. You put those on and it's only a couple of pounds. You put something like this on and you gotta walk like this to get through the snow. And you are really using your muscles. Snowshoeing is exercise, don't you think? Did any of you guys try snowshoeing already? Raise your hand if you did. Were you tired when you were done? Like, oh my gosh. Were you running or were you just kind of tromping around. When you're in a foot or two of snow and you're snowshoeing, it is a lot of work. I went snowshoeing once for 4 hours. Boy, were my legs tired when I was done. It was a lot of fun, but I was not prepared for it. So if you're interested in going out for a hike or something like that, come out here, try our trail. We got a 2-mile trail. You can just do a little bit, kind of get your feet wet with snowshoeing when we have snow. We rent them here, but today we are trying them out for free, okay? Now, we talked a little bit about how snowshoes help us stay on top of the snow, and we talked a little bit about how we thought up the idea to make snowshoes by looking at animals. But how long do you think snowshoes have existed? I said a long, long, long time. How long do you think they've existed? 100 years. It's a little more than 100 years. The Ice Age, that's a good guess. 3,000 years ago, it's a little bit more than that. 2,500. We're talking 12,000 years ago. People were using snowshoes. Pretty impressive, right? Now, were people writing like books 12,000 years ago to let me know that they were using snowshoes? No, but they were doing what? They were drawing pictures in where?
Rocks.
On cave walls. And we saw those pictures and we thought, they must be using these for something pretty cool. Then people who lived around here, we fast forward to the future, people who live around here were using snowshoes. What were they using snowshoes for? Besides to keep them up on top of the snow, why did they need snowshoes? They didn't have cars, or buses, or motorcycles, or bicycles. So what do they need snowshoes for? To travel, right? Did the Native Americans just sit around inside their wigwams all day? No, they went out and what did they do? They traveled and they did what? They went hunting. What else did they do? What do you think? They went hunting. What else would a Native American need to like walk down to the reservoir to get something? They made instruments, definitely. Why do you think that they might need to walk down to the reservoir? For drinking water, definitely. They had to go get drinking water, and sometimes when the snow's up to here, they're like, I think I'll wear my snowshoes. So it's pretty cool. Native Americans used it, and then how do you think we found out about snowshoes? Storytellers, right? And then all of a sudden, these people came over from Canada, and they were like, hey Native Americans, I want to trade fur with you for this awesome, cool cotton and for metal stuff. And so what happened was, the French Canadians came down, and they met up with the Native Americans, and they saw these really awesome snowshoes. Totally cool snowshoes, and thought, well, gee, I've been walking around in 4 feet of snow, and it's really hard, and you have these awesome things. Teach me how to make these. So it's pretty cool. We've got 3 different kinds here today. These were the snowshoes that were most of the time worn by females. They're a little bit smaller, and they helped us get around in the woods, out in the prairies. They're kind of the multi-purpose bear claw snowshoe. So these kind of worked for everything. Then when you had your 6-foot-high snow drifts, you needed something like this bad boy. This is the Alaskan snowshoe, and this helps you spread your weight way out over 6-foot drifts. And last but not least, my favorite snowshoes are the Ojibwa snowshoes. Now these worked really well in the open prairies when it was a little icy, so they could use them like skis. The front was tipped like this, they could ski right across, so they could move much quicker on something like this and stay above the snow. All pretty cool stuff. I'm sure you're all sick and tired of hearing me talk about awesome snowshoes. How many of you want to race? I can't hear you. How many of you want to race?
Race?
All right. I'm going to start off with 3 age groups. So the first age group that I need, what we're going to do is I'll call out each age group and we'll go over to the test your skills at snowshoeing, okay? The first age group is going to be 3 to 6 years old. So if you are 3 to 6 years old, you can stand up and follow me with your parents over to the test your skill at snowshoeing, and we will race. And then I will get the next group of kids, okay? Does that sound good? All right, everybody who races.
You guys are the last group. You have to wait till all the kids are done.
Like Andy.
She said 6.
3 to 6 so far.
We're going to come on over and get fitted with snowshoes.
The ARP group is last. I remember that one.
Yeah,